Welcome to the Trading Lounge and the Forex report for the European crosses, but starting with the US dollar index here. Yesterday we were around this low area here and looking for a move up. In fact, I think that I was actually looking for wave 1 to here, 2, 3, 4 and 5. One more little wave down here to complete this. So I haven't really investigated it too much, but it's very obvious that we've got to move to the upside here. So we can expect further upside here as well. The other point here is that bit of a long shot here, but from this low here, wave 1, 2, 3 here, 4 here and 5 here, and then back into the 50-60% retracement level, which I can have a look at here. But I think one of the main points a little bit further down here, in fact, one of the main points that the reason I'm sort of doing that for is because it's something that could occur and would need to be accommodated and in reverse for the euro, US dollar, etc. So main point here I'd like to say is that this particular move down here is in 3 waves, so we should see further highs being made above this previous high here. Just not quite sure on the count moving up here. It could be this could be wave 1 in green here, but it's not like a big deal as such here. This is an important level, the little 65 number in here, and yeah, this is the next most important level at here, $98 rather, the number 8 there, which you'll see some profit taking coming in at that point there. So the euro US dollar has made a move down. Now, well, this is what we were sort of looking at yesterday. We were looking at a 3-wave structure here, and it's quite possible that the E wave of 4 can be on top of the A wave here, so we can have this as an A and a B and a C here, 4-wave E or 4 here, and we move down from this point. As I mentioned yesterday, that this little ABC here in relationship to this larger A, B and C here, it's just still a little bit small. I'd expect it to be less than this one here, you know, minimum sort of half the size, which it kind of is, but it's just still a little bit small, so I'm a bit concerned about it. So as I drew this out yesterday, we were looking for an A, B and C here, and a bounce basically off the 61.8 retracement level, which is a little bit higher than 1.1 here. Now, look, if I would be wrong with this larger correction here if I could see 5 waves down. So it's not like we're going to miss anything anyway. So currently we've got this situation, which can be an ABC or 1, 2 and 3, then 4, bit of a bounce off this area here, and then 5 here. Now, if we get that, then we know that if we get 5 waves here, then we know that we're going to be going lower. But before we go lower, we'll be looking at an A and a B and a C wave back up here, and then down from here. So we have time. So if we see that we get 5 waves in this structure here, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here, then we know that we'll be looking at an ABC correction, and then we can look to short on this side over here. But as it stands, it's just in 3 waves, and it can move up here to in wave C, roughly the same length as wave A, but in 5 waves this time. So in the 15-minute chart here, a little bit sort of rough and ready here, but this is what we sort of mapped out, and I'll just sort of expand this up a little bit here. So yeah, we can move things around a little bit. So this was the first level that we were looking at here. We're looking for wave A here. We're looking for wave B coming back here. And then we're looking for wave C basically down at 1.1 here. Now that's all good. So we've got that far, don't even need that, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. So this is where we've got to kind of just wait and see what happens. So, you know, will we get wave 4 here and wave 5 here, then an A and a B and a C wave, probably a bit smaller, probably something like that, then down from here. Or do we just get a bounce straight off here, which would be, if I can just delete that. So the other wave count that we need to be mindful of is pretty much a straight up bounce from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here, and then then moving down from that point there. So look, it's just something that we have to wait at. I think I'll save this so we can have a look at it tomorrow. But basically, we have to wait until we know what's what. Okay, so yeah, we just have to wait for all this low here to develop. Yeah, there's nothing we can really do or say. But one of the main points here, I guess, is that this whole move up here is in 3 waves. So it is corrective. So whatever we're working with here is corrective, and we will be making new lows here. It's just how we're going to go about doing that first. And the reason I've drawn this out here first, as I did yesterday, is that I just feel that this is a little bit small. It's possible, but it's just a little bit small. So it's small enough to bring in concern that we could get this wave 5 here before we go down. Right, next market is the Euro Pound, and here, well, here we're looking at a clearer sort of pattern, really. So in this regard, we're looking for 5 waves down. So it's got the same pattern as the euro down. So we could be having 5 waves down. So the 1, the 2, the 3 here, the 4 coming back up to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree or 38%, whatever, and then down for wave 5. So in terms of trading, if you're short, that's fine. Hang in there, hold in there, take half the profit if you want, and at this number, and wait for wave C over here as such. So just on the, this would be quite a nice trend too, by the way, because we'd be looking here. We've got down for 1 here, back for 2 here, and then we've got this 5 waves down here as wave 1, and then wave 2 here, and then wave 3 of 3 here. So we should pick up some pace here. Let's just have a look on the 15-minute chart here. Yeah, look, same thing really. So wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 here. Wave 4 can pull back roughly to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, or 38.2%. I'm not sure if I've measured that out or not, but we're in, yeah, roughly there. So, we're in wave 4 as we speak, and wave 4s can get a bit complicated, and we don't normally trade them at this degree of structure. We wait for them to mature. This leg down here should be roughly the same length as this one here. So nice trend for a session for short-term trading, but the real trade for me is this one over this side over here. Right, next market is the Euro Yen, and I think I might have, oh no, that's right. Yeah, I got this. This is okay. I was on track here. So we're looking for a move back into this box, the 50-60% retracement level. And I've labeled it an A and a B and a C here. And that's sort of okay. But it does have impulse qualities as well. So if it's an impulse wave, let's just say that it's 5 waves up, then the 61.8% is back at 135. So if we find this 135 as resistance, then we know that, well, then I'll know that we're going down from that point there, which we probably are. Just that we need to move through this first. Now, this current move down through here is basically 5 waves here. So we'll see a retracement of 50-60% close to the 137, and then we'll see a move down. Now, it's likely to just move through this 135. It's likely to move through here. But I just want you to be aware that that's the 61.8 retracement level. There will be some support there, of course, and yeah, it could produce a move to the upside there. So on the 15-minute chart here, so yeah, this is what we've got it looking at here. So Yeah, I got it labelled different. I'm going to go to the 5-minute chart. I kind of got it labelled a bit differently here. So in the corrective move here, we've got an A wave to here, B wave to here. Then all of this is wave C here. I had wave 4 here, but obviously the market's gapped and that's what it was, and that's that. But still, we'd keep that as wave 4 and wave 5 to the upside here. And it does appear that we've got 5 waves down here. So we'll be looking for some sort of retracement level here, and then further down from that point. But as I mentioned, this area here, I might just put a little sort of thing in here to remind me, might not be exactly right, but roughly right there. And yeah, so just saving it, screen goes a bit darker. So yeah, that's sort of it. This is a bit of this is a sort of deciding factor here. I'm quite sure that we'll head on further down, but we just need to be mindful that this is not a I'll just put this here as well, an A just to remind me, B and a C wave here, just to sort of, you know, keep us aware as such. Okay, the next market is the cable, I think. So once again, we've got this same pattern to the upside here. Now, in this particular pattern here, well, we can look at all this in a moment, but the 50 and 61% retracement level is still higher up in this level here. So we know that the US dollar is going to get stronger. So it's likely that the correct pattern is this A, B, and C here. But once again, we need to work out the 50-60% area here. So the market could come to, well, basically where that is. I've already done the work there. So yeah, this little area here is important here. So we'd need to see a move below that there to confirm that we're actually starting down at that stage on the 15-minute chart here. Yeah, right. So that's all good. So we're pretty much spot on with this too. So we just need to see it turn down now. I mean, this 50-60% area is fine, but you can see here that we've got this move here and then here. So that could be wave 2. This could be wave 3, 4, and 5 here. If we see 5 waves, that would be our confirmation to short. And if that was the case, then we'd be looking for a counter trend that would probably come back up and meet supply in this little area here and then fade from that point there. So if you're trading this market, you'll need to see 5 waves here first, then the counter trend, and then start, you know, get one or two trades above here, and then start to put heavier trades in on the retest of 155 at that stage, you know, on a failed retest with a reference point. The next market is the pound yen, and look, it's the same thing here as well. I've got this labeled as an A and a B and a C wave up here, and that's fine, but we do need to see the market work down lower from this point. Let's just see. I think there could be another little high here. Right, so with this market here, I've got this labeled as an A wave, a B wave, and yeah, I did make an error here yesterday in all of this, but it's resolved itself a little bit further. Now, we've got wave 3 here. Now, wave 4 can be here or it can be here. If it's here, then we've got 5 waves to the top here, and we've got a top in play here. But we would need to see 5 waves down. This is the same as the other markets as well. So we've got 1 and 2 there, 2 there. So we need to see 3, 4, 5. We need to see 5 waves down to confirm it, okay? And but currently we've only got 3, so it can move up from there. If it was going to move up from there, then this would be wave 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, and 5 coming up to here, and then rolling over from that point there. So when we look on the 5-minute chart, we might be able to see a little bit more detail on that. Yeah, we can here. So we're looking at this, this should be a little bit sharper than this one here, and it's sort of, it is and it isn't in certain parts. So we just need to be, that's corrective. So that will come down a bit further. So we've got one. Yeah, let's wait for another session. Let's see what we get. We'll still be fine on everything. But if you're trading short, you'd basically have to have the stop above here. But I think we're better off waiting for getting a nice 5 waves down first in terms of 1, 2, there'll be third wave, fourth wave. Probably the fifth wave will bounce off the 190 here, and it'll look like this here, coming back up and hitting that trend line, and then down from there. So yeah, I'll leave that one with you. Okay, the US dollar yen. Now, we haven't really looked at this in the last couple of days because I've been a little bit unsure about the wave count, and I mean unsure about it in terms of, well, you know, I know that this is sort of some type of corrective pattern here for wave 3 and wave 4. There's different ways to count all of this. I don't want to get into that, but we were looking for an impulse wave up here. In fact, we traded this bit up through here. Now, and then we've left it alone to try and figure out what's what. Now, I've put wave 5 here, so wave 3, 4, and 5 here. Now, that's all fine, but it also could be this move up here could also be wave 1 with an A and a B basically, and a C wave here. And then moving up into wave 3 here, 4 and 5 here. So I think that that's what we could be looking at. So perhaps tomorrow I'll pull this apart here a little bit further, and we'll have a look at what we've got here, okay? But or you can look at this. So it does present a bit of a trading opportunity here for this market, but you'd have to keep the stop out of the way and build in. And one of the things you can look for is tested support on 123, because 123 is the top of group 1 of 120. So 120 is a minor level. These are sub levels here, so subgroup 1. And you know that if we find support on top of group 1, any group 1, then we know that the market is freed itself up from the previous largest number and then can work higher, and they will be looking at the next number, which is 5. So the Fibonacci numbers as price ratio 1, 2, 3, 5 and 8. Within 8 there's also group 2, and it goes down and breaks down and down and down. Okay, alrighty, well that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.